And to start, I appreciate your patience. I know that we've kept you waiting. I'd like to welcome the media, and I want to start by introducing our Mayor Lula Davis Holmes, to make our first remarks. We also have other government officials here that are representing either the region, state, county, federal government. We'll let them speak as well, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. Okay, thank you. With that, I'm turning to the mayor.
Well, good morning, everyone. Wow, this has been an exhausting 21 days for us. 21 days ago, this noxious odor came into the city of Carson, and we have been doing everything we can as a local government to come up with a solution and a recommendation as much as we could for our residents. The channel is under the jurisdiction of LA County Public Works Department, and we have been stretched with not only this pandemic, but also we're recuperating from COVID-19. But today the city took an impressive movement to make sure that we could get the resources for not only our residents, but also our business community here in the city of Carson, because our business have been hurt also. We have issued a resolution proclaiming an emergency response. We just passed that motion unanimously. And the proclamation would provide the city, its residents, and businesses affected by this odor the additional resources, including cutting through the red tape that we're faced with. There's so much red tape. We know there is a solution, but the solution requires a lot of agencies to come on board. I've called upon the governor, our state elected officials, my Councilman Gibson, our state senator Bradford, and our governor to proclaim this a resolution so we can get the resources that we need to address this problem. In my personal opinion, and I'm not a scientist, this problem could have been prevented. I feel that it was human error and neglect. And I'm calling upon a quick and expedient resolution which calls for the restoration of the channel. But in order for us to do that, we need to cut through all this sporadic red tape. So I would like to call upon our state assemblyman, Mike Gibson, for a few comments, and then we will hear from
Senator Bradford.
Oh, Senator Bradford. Senator Bradford, would you come forward, please?
Good morning. I want to thank Mayor Lula Davis Holmes for convening this press conference, but most importantly for the actions that the council took just shortly to declare a state of emergency here in the city of Carson. What she has described is an environmental hazard. An environmental hazard that's far more deadly, far more impactful than what we saw in Porter Ranch and Alicia Village a number of years ago. This is a toxin. Methane that was leaking in Porter Ranch is not a toxin. It's a color, odorless, and tasteless gas that's very much flammable. But what we have here, hydrogen sulfide, is a toxin. It's a poison. And it's flammable as well. And so whether you have limited exposure or long-term exposure, it impacts your health. And I'm here to tell you, we're at a crisis. And my real question is, where are our environmental friends? Where are our environmental advocates? Where are the Aaron Brockowiczes of the world here in Carson? Because this is a health hazard. So I stand here representing the 35th Senate District, which Carson finds itself in. But this is bigger than Carson. Because if you're driving down the 110 freeway, you smell it. If you're driving down the 405, you smell it. If you're driving down the 91 freeway, you smell this toxic odor. So I stand here with the city, now that the city has taken this action, encouraging not only the county supervisor, but our governor, Gavin Newsom, who is a strong environmental advocate, to call for a state of emergency and provide the necessary resources that's needed to address this problem. Again, this is a human health crisis. This is not just an odor. This is a human health crisis. Hydrogen sulfide is toxic. It causes health challenges, from dizziness to nausea, to fainting, to irritability, to dizziness, And again, it can kill you. So the urgency is now for not only the county, but the state to join in with the city and take the necessary actions to mitigate and address this problem. So thank you.
Now we'll hear from our Assemblyman, Mike Gibson.
I want to say thank you very much to Mayor Lula Davis Holmes, to the entire City Council. My name is Mike Gibson. I serve this district, the 64th Assembly District, as a State Assembly member and also as a Carson resident. As the Mayor has already indicated, the residents have been dealing with this odor for over 21 days in the Dominguez channel. It is time for us to turn the corner and get the kind of necessary help. I want to commend this City Council for taking the swift and bold action that they needed to take today, so that myself and Senator Bradford can call on the governor. I wrote a letter last Sunday to the governor asking for the governor to use his constitutional and statutory authority to bring the necessary resources in to eradicate what's taking place here in this region. This is affecting not just the residents of Carson, but it's affecting the surrounding communities. I'm hearing from our elderly. I'm hearing from young people who are sick, who are dizzy, who are having headaches. These individuals also want to commend the city of Carson for taking the most swift and bold action. And that means great leadership by taking individuals and placing them in hotels. But they should not be displaced. Their homes are in the city of Carson. And we need to bring all the resources together. As the mayor has indicated, the county has a jurisdiction in this area. We need the county to make sure they're coordinating on this with the AP, with the AQMD, with CARB, and other agencies to get to a resolution. We also understand that they have placed instruments into the water to try to mitigate some of the smell. But it's going to take time, I'm understanding, for the smell to be eradicated. But we need to make sure this never happens again, because Carson and the region deserves better. And so I'm simply here to lend my voice with those who have already spoken, to let them know that we'll be a champion in the state legislature, work with the governor's office to bring the resources necessary to eradicate this. Again, I'm a resident. When I leave out of my home, I smell the same odor that the residents smell, and it's not fair. Thank you.
We also have several representatives on the federal level here today. Jeanette Christian from Senator Feinstein's office is here. I don't believe she's speaking though, but we also have representing Congresswoman Nanette Barragan, Patricia Camachi, who is her deputy, the director of her local office. Patricia, if you would come up and speak, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you. I do have a couple words on behalf of Congresswoman Barragan. As you all know, Congresswoman Barragan is in Washington, D.C. She wants everyone to know that she stands with the city of Carson and with Carson residents. Congresswoman has been in direct contact with state and county last week. And while we appreciate everything that they are doing, we need more to be done. And it needs to be done faster. And that's why the Congresswoman is in agreement with Senator Bradford and Assembly Member Mike Gibson and Carson Mayor and City Council that we need to surge resources immediately to assist constituents and businesses in Carson and surrounding communities who are and have been impacted to eliminate the noxious odor and as quickly as possible. Thank you.
And now I'm going to invite my colleagues, Mayor Pro Tem Jim Deere, followed by Councilman Hilton, to say a few words. Thank you. MPT.
Thank you. My name is Jim Deere. I'm the former mayor of the city and now the mayor pro tem, and along with my colleagues, we are very, very concerned about the health and safety of our residents. It is affecting not just Carson, but the surrounding communities of Long Beach, Gardena, Compton, Wilmington, Harbor Gateway, Harbor City, Torrance, even as far as Redondo Beach, we've had reports. So this problem, I look at it as we have to do two things, two different things. One is we have to stop the bleeding, meaning we have to stop the cause of the hydrogen sulfide. That has to be done immediately. Why is that not being done? That is the question. I want the water quality control, state and regional water quality control boards to get on this immediately. And we have AQMD, we have the state governor's office looking at it, waiting for us to make a declaration. You know, bureaucrats wait too long to act sometimes. It affects real people. Really, their lives are affected by what is happening. And bureaucrats often take too long to act. Now, did we act soon enough? That's debatable at this point. But I know that our council is often divided, but we are united on this issue today. We're united that we have to solve this problem for our residents. Just think about elderly people and young people, people with underlying health conditions, how tremendously damaging it is to them. That's why we're appreciative of the media being here, because you being here will make the government agencies and the bureaucrats listen. So I thank you for being here. I also want to say that we are doing what we need to do as far as helping the residents move out into a hotel. It's extremely inconvenient for them. Some of them don't have the money, and we allocated funds to make sure that the county process, which is bureaucratic, which takes time, they need to be reimbursed. We made sure that we will fund them, and we, the city, will ask for reimbursement from another government agency. Because as you know, individuals up against a mammoth bureaucracy sometimes gets wiped out. They don't get any good results. We want good results now. That's why we're having this press conference and this special city council meeting. So again, thank you. God bless you. Jim Deere, Mayor Pro Tem of Carson.
And now we will hear from Councilman Jawan Hilton.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councilman Jawan Hilton, District 1. This points to the overall arching issue of environmental justice issues in communities of color. If this was El Segundo, if this was Huntington Beach, we've already would have got the resources and the rescue that we need. 9 days ago, Huntington Beach had an oil spill. They're back on the beach this week. This week, they entered into a cleaning mode here in the channel, and they ran out of material to clean. I'm highly disappointed in the way and the reaction our community has received. This is outrageous. If we were in another community, not a community of color, we would have already gotten rescued. And here in Carson, we deserve better, we demand better, and we ask for better. So this is why we passed this state of emergency, calling on our legislators, our governor, and we are thankful that all of them have stood to partner with us, but we need immediate help now. The city of Carson has rented over 1,000 hotel rooms. Just think, the average of 4 people to a hotel room. We've placed over 5,000 people in hotel rooms, given out over 1,000 air purifiers. We need help. And today we demand help from our governor. We demand help from our senators, our elected officials. Please look at this community just like you look at El Segundo, the Hyperion oil spill, and Huntington Beach, the oil spill on the beach, which I want to reiterate again, they were out on the beach this weekend. We've dealt with this for 22 days, and this is a mess. We have residents outside who are angry, whose children are sick. My babies personally have been sick this whole week. They've experienced, 2 of my daughters have experienced ear infections, which is a sign of smelling this H2S. We've never had this problem with our children, but our community deserves better. And today we take that step to make our community get the resources and the help that we need. Thank you.
I want to thank the media. That really concludes prepared remarks. The various different elected officials will be here to take questions individually from any of you that want to conduct interviews. So thank you very much for your attention today. I appreciate it.
Do you have somebody in Spanish, please?
I don't. Do we have somebody that?
Patty,
I'm
you speak
sorry.
Spanish?
We'll speak to you
Patty
separately.
speaks Spanish.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please.
Patty speaks Spanish.
Patty, would you mind?
Okay.
Just letting them know that we're concluding.
Let's hear.
That there'll be individual interviews.
So, la City Manager Sharon Landers está diciendo que si alguien tiene preguntas en español, está aquí el senador y el asambleísta, la concejala y los miembros del council para cualquier pregunta que tengan.
Pero usted nos puede dar un statement, ¿qué es lo que ha sucedido el día de hoy? ¿Cuál es el resultado?
Okay, hoy la concejala y el City Council estuvieron hablando sobre pedir declaración de emergencia para el gobernador de California. So, ahora está aquí el senador Stephen Bradford y el asambleísta Mike Gibson también dando soporte a que esto ocurra.
¿Y usted está aquí representando a quién?
Yo soy Patricia Camacho, estoy representando a la congresista Nanette Díaz Barragán. Ella está en Washington, D.C.
¿Cuál es el mensaje de la congresista?
La congresista está con la ciudad de Carson, con los residentes de Carson. Ella está aquí para apoyar y también para dejar a todos saber que esto es una emergencia para los residentes. Mucho está impactando a los residentes de Carson, están enfermos, están vomitando, tienen náuseas, dolores de cabeza, gente está yendo a los hospitales, están yendo a urgent care. So es por eso que estamos aquí hoy.
So, questions now.
¿Y preguntas tienen en español?
Are there any questions from the media?
Mayor, what can you say about the lawsuit that is saying that the fire that happened at the end of September has something to do with
I'm not
the
at liberty.
emergency?
That's an investigation is ongoing, so we can't speak upon that
There's
right
an
now.
investigation?
I believe so. The site has been deemed under investigation.
You had also said at the beginning of the press conference, this could have been avoided. How so?
Preventive maintenance is what I called it. That channel has decaying vegetation in it. And also there has been dumping of illegal products into the channel. And so if you're doing preventive maintenance and you know this vegetation is decaying and it releases hydrogen sulfide, what steps have you taken to prevent it from happening? The restoration of the channel could have happened sooner, in my opinion. I'm not a scientist, but in my opinion.
In response to everyone outside, they're saying this all should have happened several weeks ago. Your response is your hands are tied because it's county jurisdiction and there's a lot of red tape. Did you say that?
Absolutely. When the odors first came, we in the city of Carson are used to 1 or 2 days of the odor. But it went on, and until I made the call to our LA County supervisor, is when the Public Works Department went into action. That call went into her 3 Sundays ago at 6:30 a.m. that I called and said there's something wrong in the city of Carson because now we're in our 4th day.
How do you think the response would have been different if this wasn't a community?
Well, look at past history. Past history dictates what happens. I think our Councilman Hilton just gave you several examples. Phillips Ranch, El Segundo. We're still here smelling this odor 21 days later.
What do you say to those residents who are expressing that frustration outside right now?
We say to them that we're doing all that we can. We've allocated $300,000, and have put our residents into homes, and we're hoping that we'll be reimbursed because we do understand that not all residents can pay in advance. This city has done what it should do to protect its residents. The LA County has been going out speaking to all of our seniors, visiting the mobile home parks, doing air monitoring in the most severe, the areas where the oxygen levels are high, the sulfide levels are high. And so we're doing everything that we can, but at the end of the day, this problem belongs to LA County Public Works.
Mayor,
Yes.
you had a nuisance order earlier, now you have this emergency order. What changes? What does that allow you to do?
It allows us to cut through the red tape. I got a message from the governor and said that in order for him to be involved, his office, we had to issue this local emergency. We did a nuisance order the last time, just to say that the odor was a nuisance to the residents. This is a local emergency, which says we want to call on all of our partners, the ones that are here with us today and the ones that could not be here, to demand that we have a state of emergency. And this local emergency allows us to do that.
And is there a timeline for when this potentially would clear up?
Well, you know, today they said there was no timeline. The LA County Health Department Director Davis was on the line today. The oxygen sulfide levels are lower, but they're not at a level that we can say that the emergency is over. So we're going to be following their lead because they will say when there's no longer an emergency. Everything that they're doing has eliminated some of the odors, but it's still there if you drive by the 405 freeway in Avalon. The odor is still there. I live right in the middle of it.
I think it's also important to say that as elected officials, we live in the same community. We're breathing. I think it's also important for us to say, as elected officials, we live in the same community. We're breathing the same air. We're experiencing the same problems. We're experiencing the same frustration. Had we had the ability to take the smell out and do something real quickly, certainly we would have done that because this impacts our family as well. So we're just as frustrated as those people who are standing downstairs, if not more frustrated, because as elected officials, our hands are tied in this dilemma. So we want to make sure the residents understand that we're not going to breathe some air in some ivory tower. We're breathing the same air that they're breathing from the same channel. As I indicated to you, my 2 children are sick at home with ear infections. My 1-year-old daughter, my 7-year-old daughter. So we're experiencing the same things. So those are the things that I think are important for the residents to understand. Even though we understand their frustration, we're frustrated too as elected officials that we cannot move the ball even faster, even though we stay in this area. Sorry.
Thank you. And to our residents that are downstairs complaining and saying that we're not doing anything, we've even housed them, relocated those residents into homes, into hotels. We have 15 hotels that we're sending our residents to. And we're paying for those in conjunction with the county. They have hotel accommodations and air purifiers also. But we were proactive in this because we did not want to have to go through the process because our residents look at us for answers. They look at us. They don't know that this is a problem that is maintained, the channel is maintained by LA County Public Works. They say you are elected officials. So therefore we became proactive and moved as fast as we could. Any more questions? Any more questions? And I want to thank you for coming out. You've been helping us to get the word out. We've been on every news station, everywhere, the newspapers. And I want to thank you for helping us to get our word out that we are doing what we can as a city and providing the resources for our residents. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay.